where did the core story for Trover Saves the Universe come from?
There's a few iterations of the story. I don't know where it came from. I mean, like, it's just weird. The idea, well, a bit of it is inspired by my two dogs. I have two little cute Maltese dogs that are like my kids. And so they inspired a bit of it because you are a Chairorpian, which is a weird race of people that hang out in chairs all the time. They don't walk. It's against the rules to walk. You'll get a ticket or arrested. And you have these two beautiful, little, adorable Maltese dogs, more or less. They look like that. And lo and behold, these dogs just so happen to be an instrument of great power to this evil character named Glorkon, who you find out more about him and his origins and his backstory and his motivations as you play through the game. But he's essentially using your dogs in his eye hole sockets to sort of superpowerify himself, and he's using that power to sort of act out. Prime Directive is sort of a twofold thing where, you know, Trover is really initially just showing up. He was given orders to find you, like find the guy who owned those dogs. He's important somehow. So after untold searching, he knocks at your door, and he believes it's just going to be a quick pick the dude up who had the dogs, drop him off, and get my space money and go have a good time.
Oh yeah, this is definitely the right place. You're the one. Okay, listen to me. We don't have time to get into it right now, but you're coming with me.
But then he quickly realizes that the stakes are a lot higher than that. You as the player, the goal or the hope is the player will sort of have some kind of connection to those dogs, or even if it's just like, okay, I get it. I want to save my dogs. I love my dogs. Clearly, looking around the apartment, it's like, fucking, you really love those dogs. There's fucking evidence of those dogs everywhere. That was your life. But also, we find out that it's not just your dogs. It's, yeah, that'd be great, save your dogs, but also save your dogs so that this dude can't use them to superpower, I keep saying superpowerify. It's so not a word. It's the dumbest thing ever. But you know, he's using your dogs to like wield these fucking great powers that ultimately will have catastrophic effects for the current system and life in the cosmos. And the game is very sci-fi in the sense that you have a spaceship and you're using the spaceship to sort of travel, teleport, I should say, around different planets and stuff, and meet different weird characters. And the ship's cool because you can literally teleport right into somebody's like living room or their, you know, bedroom or office or whatever. As soon as the doors open, it's like, oh, you're right there. You're right in an office. But also, you know, if you go to some crazy weird alien planet, the doors open and it's like, okay, let's go, and you go out and explore it and stuff. It's really neat kind of vibe.
So what were some of the games that you drew inspiration from as you were?
Oh man,
like sort of conceptualizing things.
There's a bunch. I mean, obviously, you know, for the platforming stuff, Breath of the Wild. I mean, like a little bit of Breath of the Wild, a little bit of actually more Wind Waker. Or wait, no, is Wind Waker the one that's all cell shaded?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we looked a lot at Wind Waker because we like just really simple combat. I know in Wind Waker you can't jump.
Yeah.
So that wasn't really what we were looking at there. It was more just combat, you know,
yeah,
attack.
That's not realistic.
There's a lot of VR stuff I was looking at, like in the early days, because there's a lot of sort of, and there still I think are like just hurdles with VR and like how to do VR right, how to make people, or how to make experiences that don't make people sick and nauseous. I played a bunch of different games and truthfully cannot even remember the names of a lot of them, but there were little bits and pieces from a series of games I played that all sort of felt like just taking them and kind of smashing them, blending them all up to sort of create a scenario where you could have an exploratory vibe where you're going through a larger world in VR. You have a partner, a character, a third person that you're controlling with sort of action platformy kind of, controls, who's very opinionated and vocal and, talking to you a lot. You will eventually, throughout the course of the game, level up yourself as well as your partner Trover, whereas you have sort of, typical VR superpowers like telekinesis and, things like that, being able to throw things, pick things up, move things around. And there were a lot of great examples of that in the VR space back when I was just researching and studying all of the stuff that was out there as a fan, as a gamer, and then sort of think. And I mean, I have a sketchbook that's like at least a quarter of it is just notes on games, and like both positive, like, oh my God, the way that this game lerps you forward from one warp node to the next warp node is like the perfect speed, and it's those kind of nitty gritty things. But then there's notes of like don't ever do, or even just down to like how many times it takes you to do full 60 like lerp. So it's like in the game, it's like in the VR game, it's like whoop, whoop, it kind of lets like these little warps. There's little like, and some games there were 10, some games there were 8, and I was like, okay, getting down into that level of granularity of like looking at like, okay, well, I think this one's better than this one because, and then of course, proving it out in our early prototypes of like, okay, well, what works well for us, and but God, I wish I could remember some of the names of all the freaking games that I played.
So it's just sort of an ongoing, like, you've had this journal.
Oh, so this is gonna sound stupid, but I have when I got the bug, like the video game bug, which I want to say that was in like 2015 maybe, I think. I lifelong gamer, by the way, I can't even tell you how many hours I've put into playing games. But when I got the bug, I started journaling a bunch. So it's just sketchbooks, right? So it's a bunch of art, characters, game design ideas, video stories, everything, philosophies of like, oh, well, I got really sick playing this thing. Well, I bet if you did, just all kinds of theory and stuff. And I filled I think truthfully, I think I filled around 5 or 6 sketchbooks, pretty decent, sized, like at least 3 pages each.
Nice.
No, I'm kidding. They were pretty decent. And I have them all, and it's funny to go back and look because there's a lot of ideas in there that have subsequently become games that I didn't know about at the time. I'm like, fucking, that's so crazy.